Hello, I'm Danny. Today I wanted to talk about an app one of my therapists recommended, and I've been using it for almost about a month and a half, close to 2 months now. And it's really cool. I will link it down below, the Dailyo app. It has helped me become super self aware, I guess, of my emotions. I know sometimes it's hard to just be aware. You have so many emotions flooding in. You're up and down throughout the day. And this app is really easy. You can check in throughout the day in the app, and kind of it's like a little mini journal is what I'm using it for now, which is helpful. Um and in it you can program all kinds of things, like what you do, whether it's work or you're relaxing, watching TV, you went out on a date, you spent time with family, you spent time with friends, things like that. And it logs it and it keeps it in, and then it gives charts so you can see like where you're at, your mood, uh throughout the month and throughout the year as well. I just use the free side of the app, but I enjoy it because throughout the day, I try and do it about 3 times a day just to check in. And it's like checking in kind of with myself, but I have it written down so I don't forget what's going on. And that has made me more aware emotionally. Um, so if I'm like, I don't know what's going on with me. What's going on with me? I can write it down and kind of you can do notes in it. And in the notes, I just, I kind of vent a little bit to figure out what's going on. And that helps me kind of process through the emotions of everything. And it gives me more of an ability just to be aware. And as I vent, it kind of, I don't know if y'all do this. I do it. Sometimes I need to vent to get a bunch of stuff out so that I can figure out what the core of the problem is. So I can be like, oh, I'm super angry today, but I don't know why. So I start, venting in the app and kind of processing through it. And then I find out that I'm not really angry. I'm upset at something that happened yesterday, or I'm, feeling shameful towards something. And I can be aware and I can acknowledge those emotions, and not I have to also work on not going, oh, well, I'm just angry, whatever. I have to go, okay, well, why am I angry? And then we break it down and we figure out why I'm angry. And then, the underlying factor, well, if it has to do with me feeling shameful about something, if or guilty about something or sad about something, I'm like, okay, well, I'm really sad about this issue. And instead of going, oh, well, I just need to get over it and just move on, I acknowledge it. I'm like, okay, I am sad. I am sad, and I have a right to be sad. I have, my body is telling me that this is what's going on. And I just need to acknowledge the emotion instead of pushing it off. Because what happens when I push it off is, in the end, it's more damaging for me. It doesn't allow me to recognize the true feelings that are going on. It doesn't hold me accountable to myself, and it helps me regulate my emotions better by acknowledging what's going on. And then, as opposed to when I don't, it kind of gets stuck in there, and then it just like builds up and builds up and builds up, and then eventually it comes out because it has nowhere to go. As opposed to acknowledging the emotion, where I can, when I recognize it and acknowledge it, it's validating that I'm a person, I'm a human being, I have emotions, it's okay. And it stops the boiling over, or I don't know, it makes me like less jittery and fidgety and anxious, and it helps with my anxiety. It helps, when I'm in a bout of depression. And I'm like, before I would be like, no, 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 I'm not depressed. I'm not depressed. And I would just keep pushing forward, keep pushing forward. Well, it would elongate that depression. since I've had this app, I have been able to acknowledge it. And that was a hard step for me to do. Okay, yeah, I'm depressed today. This sucks. I don't want to be here, but I'm acknowledging it. And it was more of a release from me and everything that goes on with me to acknowledge that I was going through depression. I was angry. I was sad. Excuse me. And that in turn has helped me begin to heal better. I'm being more mindful of myself. I am being true to myself because I am admitting what's going on. And one of my hardest things is like talking to people about my emotions, because then that makes me vulnerable and that gives them the ability to hurt me emotionally. And so I don't generally talk about those emotions, but using this app is allowing me to talk about those emotions, is allowing me to acknowledge what's going on inside of myself, and it's making me a better friend to myself. And it's also in that I'm less judgy towards myself, I guess would be the best way to say it. Oh, I shouldn't, at first it was, I shouldn't feel that way. No, I shouldn't be doing this. I shouldn't go through this. I should have enough self-control not to feel this emotion. Our body feels an emotion for a reason, and if we just continue to push it off or we deny it or whatnot, it hurts. But this app gives me the ability to be accountable to myself. It gives me the ability to be honest with myself, and it gives me the freedom inside where the issue, the problem, whatever's going on is there. And, I don't have such high standards of myself, which, that's one of my biggest struggles is, I set everyone's standards here, but my standards are up here. And that has to do with the programming of how I was raised, is I could never be good enough for my parents. I could never be enough. And so I was conditioned that no matter what I did, I was never enough. And my emotions, didn't matter. I just had to put it aside. Well, now I have to reprogram all of that and change all of that. And so this app is a huge stepping stone for me. So I'm going to put it down in the description below. I recommend that you try it. Even if, you make a goal of doing it, once or twice a day, eventually you can make more. You can always change your goals. It's not a problem. And I just want you to be honest with yourself, no judgment. Nobody else is going to know your secret. Nobody else is going to know, that you are super, super upset with yourself, or you hate yourself, or you hate that person, or you're hurting inside, or you just want to break down and cry and do nothing else with your day, but you put a smile on. Nobody else needs to know, what's going on. Nobody else needs to know what your issue is. It's you being honest with yourself. If all you can do in the beginning is just write, okay, I'm meh today. I'm not really sure what's going on, but that's all I am. And that's all you put in there for, the first couple of days. Eventually you can put more. And don't push yourself. Don't put standards on yourself that are so ridiculously high that you can't achieve them. Start little, start small, do the little tiny steps, each day. Even if it's just checking into the app once or twice a day and saying, hey, I'm going to be honest. Just for 5 seconds, I'm going to be honest. It's in the app, and then I'm going to close the app and then move on with my day. That will help. That should, it should help. It helps me get through some really tough stuff sometimes, and it helps me to be aware of who I am. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to write them below. If you liked the video, go ahead and smash the like button down there. And if you want to see more, subscribe to my channel. And I want to thank you for watching today. And I wish you the best of luck on your journey of healing.